this idea of the small liberal arts schools actually being in trouble. How big of a problem is this?
Well, it is a significant problem, and Moody is citing that, we're going to see about 15 school closings per year going forward, compared to 2003, where it was 2 or 3 schools closing a year. But there's 2 things to remember. There are 2 shifts that are really happening in a college-going population, a demographic shift and a population shift, and that is causing a decrease in many schools, particularly in the Midwest and the Northeast.
I don't get that, though. I mean, I look at how difficult it is to get into schools these days versus when I was applying to get into school, and it seems to me, there's more and more competition. It seems like there's more and more kids who are going to college.
Well, you're very right. In the numbers overall, there are 3.4 million students that graduated from high school just this last year. It's going to top off at about 3.5 million in 2024-25. But the truth is that those demographic shifts or population shifts are happening. We're seeing huge populations happening in the South and in the West, and decreased populations in the Northeast and Midwest.
So is it just that kids don't want to go to these small schools anymore? And how much of it is what the schools are offering in terms of their curriculum? And how much of it is these kids want to go to school where they have like fabulous gyms, huge dining halls, all the amenities with brand new dorms?
Well, I think amenities play a part in it, but what students are what their fears are, students and parents, are that they're going to assume too much debt when they graduate from college. So I think that students are much more pragmatic in thinking about what majors they're going to have, what careers those are going to lead into, and then having that as part of the fit process, the discussion, and figuring out if the school is going to be right for them. So that's different from 10 years ago.
But let's face it, a lot of these small liberal arts schools are pretty expensive, pretty pricey.
Incredibly expensive. 2 to 3 times the rate of inflation. Schools have increased their tuition every year annually for the last 20.
How come they are continuing to raise costs, raise tuition, and somehow these smaller schools aren't able to manage to make ends meet? What's going on?
Schools will tell you that it's an incredibly difficult venture to maintain such a big physical pen. Now Hiram, that we just saw in the package, did some things that a few schools are doing as well, decreasing their tuition to make it affordable for students and parents, because there's a lot of tuition discounting that goes on anyhow. So they're bringing those things down to a reasonable sum.